Russian sage. Your sale price is $20.44. Yes, it goes away at the end of the month. First day presented on Easy Pay, so $10.22. That goes away at the end of the day, and then free shipping and handling here as well. Devin is joining us to help present this collection. I was reading about this plant. Well, first of all, the name of it, I know that it's not Russian, nor is it sage, which is funny to me. But I was reading that it's not a picky plant.
No.
To where I think this is a good call out, almost like we would say about the grass or about the daylilies that are coming up, to where you'd say you don't have to be knowledgeable or a particularly skilled gardener to help these grow.
That's exactly right. And you know, one of the things that I love about my job here is I get to travel all around the country, all around the world, and look at gardens. And Russian sage is one of those plants that I see all across the country, in the East Coast, the South, the Southwest, the West Coast, the North. And the reason that Russian sage is so popular is it has the ability to thrive in some of the worst, most adverse conditions.
Right.
It's a plant that loves bad soil. It loves bad soil. It loves never being watered. It loves any kind of soil that you plant it in. It loves the hot summer sun, and it also loves the cold winter. But
that's fabulous.
That's everything you want.
Left.
There's nothing left. But our Russian sage is a little bit different than the Russian sage that I will see when I'm traveling around the country.
How is that?
Well, this is the little Spires Russian sage. And what makes it different is that this is a Russian sage that stays more compact and more dense. So it only grows about 2 to 3 feet tall and about 2 feet wide.
So it's not flopping over.
Exactly.
Got it.
It's one of those, the typical Russian sage that I actually have a picture of the typical Russian sage. Here you can see it is growing in a parking lot.
That's unbelievable.
This plant, it's so big that it just flops over the place, but I'm showing this because it's just showing that it's growing in cracks and crevices in a parking lot.
But these will not get as tall as a car.
Correct.
That we see in that parking lot. Much more manageable, and they stay looking prettier longer.
Right.
What about these blooms? When do I start to see color on these?
That's the other thing that I love about this plant. It's one of the most reliable and longest blooming perennials that you'll have in your garden. They start producing these beautiful kind of smoky lavender blue flowers in mid-July, and then they'll continue to bloom all the way through the frost. And the fragrance.
Okay, I'm leaning forward to get. How do you describe the fragrance on these?
Well, I don't know. It's something like, it's like sweet sage. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm getting the oils on my
hand. You can even cut some of the sprigs of the foliage off, tie it up, bring it indoors. It's like a summertime version of a wreath or an evergreen that you bring inside for the fragrance. It's so deliciously fragrant.
I wonder how these come, because I see a pot of soil there. So tell us what
you
want
to do a little potting demo?
I'm sure, but I've been planting every day that I've had off recently. I've had my hands in the dirt.
That's what we've been doing too. Yeah.
Look at these nice sized plants.
And you're getting 4 of them. Now this plant, they've already gone through an entire winter, and what that means for you guys at home is that this plant is very strong and healthy, and it's ready to thrive. So here I have just a little pot of soil, but some of my favorite areas around the garden to see this, I love seeing it along fences. I love seeing it in kind of the middle of your perennial border or your perennial flower bed, because after you plant it, this plant, it's going to grow into something that looks like this by the first season.
Right.
And it's just a short while to go from here to here. And when they're in your garden, they have this kind of airiness, this fluffiness, and this gorgeous appeal. It just totally brightens up the yard and the garden.
I do. I like the way that the flowers sort of almost thin out, like to where you can still see through them, but then you've got that beautiful lush foliage too, the fragrance element in play. $20.44 for these 4 pieces, so that's right around $5 per plant for something that will come back year after year, that requires such little energy that you can spend that time and effort either on other plants or on other things, period. Your easy payment of $10.22 will go away at the end of the day. So sunlight doesn't matter.
It loves the hot, hot sun. Many gardens across the country, if you get that blistering sun, these will excel in those areas, but they'll also do very well in the part sun as well. But what I love about it the most is that this is a true low water plant.
Even in hot sun.
Yes, and that is so important to me personally. I travel all the time, and if I have plants that need to be watered like every third day, I can't have them because I can't do that. This is a plant, you rarely have to water it. The rainfall is generally sufficient, and they still look gorgeous.
With the assist.
To that point of water, look, this is asphalt. This plant receives very, very, very little rain and water. So I know people that have planted these and have not watered them, except for what Mother Nature gives them for 6 years. That's how drought tolerant they are.
Jeez.
If you want one that will grow in rocky, hard soil, these are native to Afghanistan.
But back to that picture, Court, just so you know, one of the things that makes this plant special compared to what was in the picture, these are more compact, so they don't flop over like what you might see.
You're right.
Looks a little tidier in the garden.
These are much tighter. This is the newest improvement in the Western sage. The little spires is gorgeous. It looks like clouds of purple and blue.
And the butterflies and hummingbirds.
The pollinators love them. So if you're picking up the vegetalis, which we'll have here soon, you need to have some pollinator-friendly plants to surround those. This is one of the best pollinator-friendly plants that you can have in your garden.
Give me a word about Flower Magic.
Flower Magic, it is in our opinion, the premier fertilizer that you can use. Use it on all of your plants. It's a high acid fertilizer. This 10-ounce bottle is a